When I was 19, a stranger tried to get me into his van after I got off work. At the time this encounter occurred, I was just 19 years old, and I had just closed the store I was working at with another coworker. They drove home, and since I lived just right across the street, I thought I was safe to walk home alone. After all, it's just a 2-minute walk to my apartment. The apartment I lived in had an auto shop below the building, which my uncle owned. This is important information, trust me. It was around 9:30 at night, so it was pretty dark out, and the roads were empty. Not even 10 seconds after I walked across the street, a dark blue minivan pulls up beside me out of nowhere. This kinda startled me, so I looked at the driver in confusion. I was carrying some bags of stuff I bought from work, and the guy driving the van noticed and asked if I needed a ride. I kindly declined his offer and told him I just live a few minutes away. Then I continued walking. The guy started slowly following me and continued, saying, "Are you sure you don't need a ride?" "I don't mind." Again, I declined and continued to keep walking, but he was persistent, and this started to creep me out. So I started walking faster and ignored him, as he'd repeatedly say things like, "Come on, get in my car. Come on. Get in the car. Get in the car. Come on. Get in." I was afraid to run inside the apartment, because I really didn't want this creep to know where I lived. So I was gonna just loop back around the building to lose him. Thankfully, I noticed that the auto shop's lights were on, and the garage door was open. My uncle must have been working late in the shop, so I walked towards the open garage, and the van sped off in a hurry as soon as they were about to pass by the open garage door. I told my uncle about what just happened and waited a few minutes before walking back out to get into my apartment. I then locked all of my doors and windows and stayed in the living room until my dad came home from our cousin's house. Thankfully, I never saw the van again. After this incident, I bought some pepper spray. I usually always had my weighted pocket knife on me, but I had actually left it at home that day, after using it to cut thick string for some crafts I was working on. To everyone reading this, even if you only have to walk 2 minutes to get to your destination, even if you think you're safe, please treat it like it's a 20-minute walk home at night. In a really sketchy town, always be on high guard and continue with caution when going anywhere alone. If you don't feel safe walking alone, and you have anyone like friends or family that you know you can trust that wouldn't mind giving you a ride, or even tag along with you, don't be afraid to ask, because it might just save your life.